Welcome back, happy campers. Cinema Cycle time. Hey. October 7th, it's a Wednesday. Had a little hiatus there for a while because I've been doing some modifications here in the man cave, setting up a new Laserdisc player, doing a few other little tweaks here and there. But back on schedule, and that means that the random media generator has produced Waiting to Exhale. Let's talk about some good romantic comedy with African American women. You betcha. I've actually seen this before. I don't recall much about it. It's a bit of a long film, but I remember it being very well done, being directed by Forrest Whitaker. It will be kind of poignant, though, because this is probably one of the last great movies that Whitney Houston did before she decided to take the infinite swim in her bathtub. So, let's exhale. A couple of things about this movie that's interesting. One is that I've forgotten it's all filmed in Phoenix, Arizona, where I used to live, so I know all the references in the scenery. Two, in her day, Whitney Houston was a real fox. What a shame. And three, I'm a bit confused here. This is an African-American movie with an African-American cast, but as I watch, they don't appear black. They appear to be white people in their mannerisms, in their decoration, the way they dress, the way they act. There's a certain amount of black inflection, but I'm trying to figure out, is this a fantasy film for blacks who wish they were white? Or is it the other way around? Is it a reality of how blacks actually perceive themselves, which isn't really true? I mean, there's no hip-hop reference here. There's no, Jay-Z reference, or most of the things in the middle-class to upper-class black community. And which goes back to the fact that this are supposedly black people in the middle class, upper class in Scottsdale, Arizona. Not there. There aren't that many African Americans in Scottsdale of this affluency. So far it's like interesting, but fun to watch. Evidently, sex plays a big role in the African American community because there's actually a lot of sex in here. You would almost rate this X if you just saw a little bit more. That said, it's a good film because the subject matter is rather average. It's not that great a story, and the target audience is obviously pretty small. You're kind of aiming toward African American women here, although I think all women would find this movie rather interesting. But what shows you more than anything else what filmmaking is about is that this is actually a very engaging movie because it's so well done. The acting, the location shooting, the script, the music. It makes a rather average story kind of suck you in, and it's like, this is actually pretty good. Interesting thing about this movie is that it's obviously in vernacular a chick flick, but it's a good movie to watch for the white cracker like myself because this gives a very intimate and detailed portrait of the African American female fantasy. That's kind of what I'm getting from this movie, as opposed to the urban Caucasian female fantasy, which is similar, but there are slight differences, and you get to really see that in this film. So it's educational from that aspect. It would appear that infidelity is a common theme in the black community. You can always explain away why you want to sleep with someone else. Even though you're married with kids. That's kind of odd for me. Don't see that in too many of the same films of the same genre with a white cast. That said, good movie to have a really good sound system on. The surround sound I installed in the man cave really paying off on this movie because the background music is extremely well done. I do detect that there's a definite bias here and a jab against the black male community about black men dating white women. They oftentimes raise this. You hear about how, get your sorry ass out and go date your white girlfriend or something.